Good morning, everyone. This is Sharon. I have a pile of journals to share with you today. Why so many, you might ask? Well, number one, I've been inspired by a number of other ladies who have made these journals recently, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. And secondly, these are all made from some printables in my Etsy shop. They're called Antique French Documents. And playing around with different colors, I ended up with 16 pages that I needed to do something with. So the first 8 I made into journals this past week, and I've got 8 more here that I will be working on slowly. And, you know, they're all different on the inside of the covers, and I'll show you some of those. But these will trickle into my Etsy shop at some future point. These 8 will be in my shop at the viewing of this video. So the ladies that have inspired me to make these, there are 5 of them, and I'm sure there are many more out there that have been making these journals lately. But these 5 are the ones that I saw prior to starting mine. So the first person that I saw make these about a month ago, I think she started hers in May, was Michele from Boho, Crafty, Chica. And hers, she has a brand new YouTube channel. She's on Instagram. And I will put links to all these ladies down below. But hers, she made 3 beautiful blue ones. And all the original documents are in this blue shade or different shades of blue. And she added some laces and buttons and embroidery pieces to her covers. And they're just gorgeous. And she made 3 of them. And the one video she's got out on her YouTube channel, she showcases those. She was also the one who came back to me and said, hey, can you make some other color variations? And so I did put an antique document covers, actually 2 kits out there with different shades of beige, kind of a olivey, maybe celery green, but it's a little grungy, and then some gold color tones in addition to the blues. So she inspired me to really branch out and try to provide some other options for people as well. The second person that I've been inspired by is Shelly from Crafty Cottage Dreams. And Shelly is on Instagram as well as YouTube. And Shelly created, I believe, 5 journals so far. She's called them all Savannah Rose in honor of her beautiful daughter, Savannah Rose. And she numbered them 1 through 5. And hers are just gorgeous too. She embellishes with lots of pretty laces and different papers and things. The third person, who many of you are familiar with, is Rachel at Roxy Creations. Rachel has been a mentor and inspiration to me since I started journaling. She made one recently, and she did hers in her normal Roxy style with lots of ephemera and collaging in hers, and she put a pretty ruffle with some really nice antique trim on the front of hers. The fourth person that I saw make these was Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventure. And we all love Wendy. I love Wendy for her layered botanical style. And she actually made 5 of them. She called them the 5 sisters and gave them all names. But with Wendy's, she created a faux leather flap on the front. And then it wrapped around to the back, and there was a band across the back that you could use to stick things in. So that was a really unique style. And then the 5th person that I saw is Jeannie LeBroc-Marshall from, well, she did a couple of live videos in the Junk Journal Hub Facebook group. So I will also link that Facebook group here. And hers was a little different too. She used 2 separate pieces for the front and back and created an expanded spine so she could put more pages in hers. And she had a really nice mixture of pages as well in her, the couple of journals that she made. So I think what I'll do is flip through one of these and then kind of show you some of the differences between all of these. Now these, another reason I made these is several people contacted me about whether I could do a print and ship, and I'm just really not set up for that. So I thought I would make a bunch of naked journals that are just pages where you could take them and embellish them and make them your own if you don't have access to a printer. I will have these out in my Etsy shop. So with that, I think I will just start flipping through some of these so you can kind of see what they look like. So what I did with all of them to make them as flexible as possible for people to use and create, make their own creations, is I added some buttons to the bottom of the signature strings in the center. And I made them long enough that you could either cut off the strings if you don't want any dangling items on the bottom, or you could cut these off, use the buttons elsewhere, and dangle something else on the bottom. The other thing I did was I've used some rayon seam binding for all of these, and I made them extremely long so that if you do expand your journal, there's plenty of room for that, or if you want to snip some off and use it elsewhere, you can do that as well. And then I wrapped them all with some vintage embroidery pieces, a lot of doilies and different pieces like that. And I did not connect those either, so that if you wanted to take your cover into a different direction, you know, you're not tied to this, you could use this on the inside, or you could use it in another project. So all of these are about the same size. They're approximately 4 by 10.5. And I just love the feel of that size. It's something that's really fun to work with. On the inside covers, most of them I used some type of digital, and some of them I just used other things like craft paper and straw paper, so I'll show you some of those as well. Each one comes with a doily for the front page, and then the French document that's scripted, that's from my digital kit, and then I've interspersed those. I've done some printing on the backs of those, and then I've used some antique and vintage book pages in between as well. So this is from a botanical encyclopedia that's quite old. I've also got some other floral books and botanical books, and I've inserted some pages from those as well. So you can just kind of see, they have, most of them have, you know, kind of a botanical, kind of flowery feel to them. And they're all pretty much set up exactly the same way, just some of these images will be a little bit different. And then in the center of all of these, I've got a page from a 1700s French tome. And I really love this paper. It's thick and really nice too. It's that rag paper. So everyone has that in the center. And that's pretty much it. I sewed the signature in with some waxed linen thread, so you can see that I've got the strings fairly long on those. Just kind of go through. I've added, you know, a tuck and some flips here and there just to kind of get you started, but for the most part, it's plain and ready to have some fun in there. So that's that one. I will have these all listed as separate listings in my shop, so you can look at the pictures and see the differences between them. Like this one, for instance, I'll just kind of show you the inside cover on this one. You're going to see a little bit of a difference. So here I took some craft paper and treated it with wax, so that's got a totally different looking inside cover, and it's kind of crinkled up. Looks a little bit like leather. So that's that one, and you'll see similar book pages, but of course they aren't the same because they are originals. So, and then the digitals that I put in here in each one are slightly different as well. Let me see, what else might I want to show you. The straw paper one. Yeah, this is the straw paper one. And that one I waxed as well, so it's got this really nice deep kind of brown goldy color to it. And they all have a little label on the front somewhere as well. And then one other one that's slightly different from the rest, I did line one with fabric, and it's this one. And this is just some antique French fabric that I decided to try that for something a little different. So that one is fabric lined. So that kind of gives you an idea, I think, of what most of them look like. You'll have to check out the listings for the specifics on And I'll make sure I take pictures of the inside covers and the pages so you can see the difference between each of those. So that is it for today. I've got a little bit of a mess here now, but that's okay. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.